Lesson 7, Training Tab and Light Line. The training tab and light line are unique in their simplicity. The tab is nothing more than a 6-inch loop fabricated from a piece of soft yet strong cord hanging from the running ring of the collar. Generally I use clothesline, but this is what I had in my truck and I forgot to bring them. The light line is a piece of strong yet light line. A good example of light line material is Arborist Throw Line, available at Amazon. Orange. Green is also a good color. Orange is for demonstration purposes, so you can see it. It is rated for a very, very high weight. We've actually hooked it to a weight pull cart and pulled thousands of pounds over what it's rated for. It's not going to break. You'll need about 60 foot of light line. Reserve the rest, we'll use it later. Before you start your training, lay the line in an area of low level distraction. This should be an area much like the one we used in Lesson 2. Start each training session by working the exercise as outlined in Lesson 6, reserving the last 20 minutes of your training session for exercises outlined here in Lesson 7. Lesson 6 says to start each training session by reviewing Lesson 5, but reserve the last half of your session for throw chain work. Kevin, quiet. He's never seen little humans on bicycles. He's never seen someone pushing a stroller. Well, he saw them 20 minutes ago on their other loop, but we're going to let that go for now. On leash. The leash is connected to the collar. The bridging link. The leash is attached to a 1-inch diameter loop tied to the light line about 18 inches from the end of the attached training tab. Off leash, with the light line attached to the training tab, throw chain in hand, and leash unattached. Days 1 and 2 to familiarize your dog with the light line, concept of pattern training. Bring the dog into the area where the light line is laid out as straight as possible and tie it to the tab. You will need a bridging link, a knotted loop, about 1 inch in diameter. This goes to the training tab. There's your bridging link loop. You should be standing with the dog in the heel position, your leash attached to the running ring of the collar and the training tab hanging from the same ring. Attached to the training tab is your light line with a bridging link tied 18 inches down from the training tab attached to it. The table below will provide you with an entire week program of patterns. Refer to the glossary above for reference. Day 1, 20 paces on leash, 10 paces on bridging link, 0 off link leash. Day 2, 20, 20, 0. Day 3, 20, 30, 10. Day 4, 20, 20, 20. Day 5, 20, 10, 30. Day 6, 20, 5, 40. Day 7, 20, 0, 40. Following with the table, you simply do as many patterns as you can successfully complete in 20 minutes. Encourage your dog with verbal praise as you make speed or change directions. Not before, not after, but as you make the change. Do yourself a favor and make sure you work in straight lines and square angles in order to keep your light line from turning into a jumble of knots. Work in an area at least 3 times longer and wider than your light line. I'm going to work on this basketball court here with the length of line I have. It will be fine. It references, I don't know, 60 or 50 feet, but really, depending upon the work you put in with your dog, stand by. Emphatic but fair corrective action. Even though he laid back down by the time I got there, it's still a correction for failure, and he laid down in the wrong position. So the length of the line really depends on your skill. With this dog, this is plenty of line for me. Many handlers experience a lot of reluctance from their dogs when the leash comes off at day 3. Don't be alarmed. If you did the work religiously all day long, beginning with Lesson 1 long line, you will be fine. If your dog is bolting away from you as if he had never experienced freedom before in his life, we'll see you in 7 weeks. Time to start over. In Lesson 6, you were given the ultimate tool of divine intervention with the throw chain. If you have followed along to the letter but are still worried about day 3, don't panic. You have a means to which to make contact with your dog regardless of the presence of a leash. The caveat is if your dog has any reason to think that the throw chain comes from anywhere other than the sky, go back to Lesson 5 and restart from there. You can resume Lesson 7 in 2 weeks. Hopefully you will have learned to be armed with several throw chains every day and have been since the beginning of Lesson 6. If you can approach day 3 with reasonable certainty that your dog knows that the throw chain comes from the sky, like intervention from above, and wax him on the rear for even thinking about running, simply follow along with the formula above and begin incorporating your practice to executing every off-leash exercise as well as on. I did recall work with him yesterday, 5 or 6 recalls. I made 1 throw chain, but I had to throw the chain once. Since I've started throw chain work with him, that was the first time that I had to throw the chain. Sit. Stay. The light line goes through the running rink, the same length that the leash is hooked to. I'm going to bring him the line over to show you how to connect it. You take the first loop, behind it you make a second loop, a fake loop, and you put it through the tab. And then you put the fake loop through the real loop, and then you put it over the knot at the end of the tab, and you give a good pull. That's going to let you remove the light line from the tab later without undoing any knots. The bridging link, which is that, goes to your leash, which then goes to here. So when it's referring to on leash, that's the picture. When it's referring to bridging link, that's the picture. When it is referring to off leash, that is the picture. So now I'm going to remove it, end the video, place my light line, and hook it up as if I was actually training the dog without giving instructions.